1, 2, 3, come on.
All right, so good night, everyone. Welcome again to our channel. And tonight we're talking about the COVID-19 vaccine. We're saying yes, no, or maybe so. All right, and we'll find out what everybody have to say in just a moment. My name is Denzel Harris, otherwise known as Mr. Easy. I'm gonna ask everybody to introduce themselves, starting with Rosie.
Hi, my name is Rosemary Williams, aka Rosie Death. Everybody know how I slang that.
Yeah, you know.
That's funny.
Alright, Satchel. Go ahead.
Oh, me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my name is Dimitri Satchel,
Alright.
aka Dimitri Satchel.
I wonder about. Alright, Nadia.
Yeah, my name is Nadia Mackenzie, and I'm a registered nurse in the UK.
Alright. Don't know where Diana went, but I guess she'll soon be back. Alright. So, you know about the COVID-19. It has been around for, let us say, about a year now. It has been wrecking people's lives.
Less than a year.
Little less. Well, it has been in Jamaica.
It's been over a year.
Right, it's been in Jamaica for less than a year, but in terms
It
of
started in 2019 in Japan, in China, sorry.
in China.
It was in 2019 in China.
Right. Good. So it's been more than a year. So now we see that they have a couple of vaccines actually that are on the market. There have been a lot of debates and so on about the vaccines, whether they are viable or not, whether they are safe or not. And we just want to give our views on the issue tonight. Before we get into that, Tiana, could you just introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Tiana Douglas, otherwise known as Tia or TT.
Okay. All right. So, Nadia, you wanna begin with what is going on in the UK with the COVID-19 vaccines? I think there are about what, 2 or 3?
Three got approved.
Okay.
So at the moment, we've started vaccinating people in the UK, and I think it's about 2 million people that have been vaccinated so far.
Wow.
3 vaccines have been approved. Moderna, the Pfizer or BioNTech, and this other one that I can't even pronounce, AstraZeneca, something like that. So both 3 have been approved to use in the UK. With all 3 vaccines, you have to get 2 shots. So you get 1 shot, and then some of them range from between 3 weeks to 28 days for the second one. And you need both one to be immune against this thing. But even though you get both vaccines, you still have to shield. You still have to do the same thing, because they're not. What happened? They didn't do a test to see if that when you get it, if you won't transmit it to someone else. So there's still a lot of trials carrying on about these same vaccines. But at the moment, they're showing good rate of working. You understand me? So they both, all 3 have almost the same side effects. So you're still gonna have problems with them. They're mild side effects, mild compared to the COVID vaccine. And they've also had lists, what do you call it? They've listed several things that if you have certain diseases, you can't take these vaccines. But at the moment, that's what's happening in the UK.
Okay. That's interesting. Um, one thing that kind of stood out though is the fact that the testing, while they are issuing the vaccines, they are still doing their testing on them. It's
Yes.
like a experiment, basically. And that is one of the reasons why people are wondering if they are safe. Also, because of the short space of time that um, they took to actually come out with these vaccines. Um, but while doing the research, I realized that this is kind of it's a result of many resources being put in to actually come up with these vaccines because so many people are dying so fast, and they're just trying to see how best they can stop that. So I don't know if anybody else have anything to say in the meantime about that.
The problem is, people don't realize that testing now is different from back in the days. Back in the days, we were using Bunsen burners, stoves, and stuff like that. Things have been way more modern, way more technical than before. And people are working 24 hours to get these injections out. You understand me? So
Right.
things are going to come out much more faster, much more quicker than way back from early 2000 to the late 1980s. You understand me? So people are questioning, like, are they viable? Are they good? Come on. We're living in an age where it's like a microwave society. You put something in now in 30 seconds, it can pop, it's ready.
Mm. Yeah, that's another key point. And that's one of the things that was that I found in the research, because what they do now, they are pumping a lot of, as I said, resources, a lot of money, and a lot of human resources as well. A lot of people have been recruited to help with all these researches and stuff. So I mean, the time factor is kind of not such a good point, to hold on to, you know.
Um, my concern is though,
Hmm.
I'm not saying for everyone, but as what is in my head, I'm thinking of whosoever who came up with this virus, right? Because I'm thinking that with every virus, you have an antidote for
Right.
it. However, in my belief is that why are we having all these issues where the vaccine is concerned? Because those who sent us, my belief, I think it's somebody who sent it out. Someone, an organization, whatever it may be, send it out. They would already have an antidote to it because scientists come up with viruses. Before they send it out, they necessarily have to have an antidote because if if should that it should get out of control, they would be able to control it. In which I think that is what's going on. All this thing going on is just a way of controlling population because this is just the beginning of what's to come. We may not know what's to come, but we sure know that it's nothing good because them take we by like off guard because nobody knew that 2020 would be such a year and it and what has affected it. However, those whosoever is responsible of letting out this virus, I think that they did already have an antidote. No, as for the vaccine rather,
Hmm.
I not gonna necessarily gonna say yes. I think it's a maybe. So as for the aspect that the fact that as we know that all medication comes with side effects, right?
Yeah.
Um, why maybe so? Maybe because from ever since existence in Jamaica, I can speak of that we from birth we have been vaccinated,
Right.
right? So is a thing that we used to. We are used to being vaccinated. However, it poses a concern over the fact that based on this virus that comes out, if it's a good intention of getting the vaccination or a bad intention, we may never know. So it's a maybe. So for me, it's a maybe over the fact that I'm used to being vaccinated. It's as well as it could be something that they're coming up with. I may be wrong, I may be right. So it's more of I don't know. So rather than to say no or yes, I would rather to say maybe so.
Okay. All right. Tina, what do you have to say about it?
All right. So my thing is, in some essence, I agree with what Rosie is saying, but for me, at the end of the day, like we know that yes, there are these vaccines, but who knows as to what extent the side effects are. We might never know, but at the end of the day, if we are getting vaccinated against this corona, many people like what's her name? The first lady, I don't remember her name, but she was saying that
Nadia.
we might never know. Yes, yes. She was saying that we might never know how based on certain illnesses that people have. So at the end of the day, while we want the vaccines to work, we also have to keep in mind that other persons have underlying conditions. And if you have underlying conditions, not everybody will be able to get vaccinated. And if you do get vaccinated, you don't know how it's going to affect you. So it's kind of a yes and no for me personally, because at the end of the day, you don't know how it's going to affect persons. And what about persons that don't know that they have underlying issues, right? So I could go say, yes, I want to get vaccinated. I don't know that, hey, maybe I have hypertension, I have diabetes, I have a heart condition. And then, yes, I go and get vaccinated, and then something is supposed to happen. So while we want the vaccines to work, we know that there should be more clinical trials to see, all right, then yes, but then at the end of the day, I don't think working, giving the vaccines to humans, I know everybody, like from ever since, we always try out with rats and to see how it affect them. But then at the end of the day, my thing is I would not want to get vaccinated knowing that I don't know the extent of the side effects. So that is where it lies for me.
Okay. All right. Dimitri.
Basically, we are all guinea pigs. Yeah. The world don't have any time to do any testing because we are so, this generation is so soft because polio, all and something in the past killed millions of people, right? But because of the industry, the world focus more on industry than anything else, money. So they don't have the time to really say, okay, do the testing and such cause they want to get back the world to a stable place. So right now we're in the guinea pig stage. I am glad to be third world country, not first world country. So we can see
Don't throw one, don't throw one.
so we can see what is going on first and such. But then if you want to fly, you have to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
Then so why
So,
you for that
so,
throw one?
so some persons can even go as far as look at it as is a way of controlling. Like back like people thought 666 and you get a chip to do certain things and such. You can think that way too. You have so many ways you can think of it. But we
Yeah.
haven't seen it. It is the guinea pig stages now.
We don't know. We don't know.
All right.
The
So
thing is,
go ahead, Nadia.
these vaccines have been trialing since July. You understand me? Because they put out adverts and people volunteer to get these vaccines trials. So they've been trialed in America. They trialed in is it America, Brazil, South Africa, and the UK. There were several trials being run on these vaccines. I'm not gonna say that you have to. For me, I have to take this thing. You understand me? Because I'm a nurse. So I have to be lining up at the front. I've actually registered to get this vaccine. Plus, my British passport is not going to stay and gather dust. And if I want to come to Jamaica, I have to take that vaccine.
Mhm.
So I can't be on the side and just say maybe or maybe not. This is
Probably,
something that I have to take.
which probably could be the whole entire plan. That could be the whole entire plan of what is going on. As to,
Now you
I
find the
believe
bigger
that
picture.
believe, I believe that some of the information are true while some is false. You understand? But we may never know which one is true or false because we are getting so much different. But I recently got the information. I'm not sure if it is correct. If it's incorrect, please have me excuse and correct me. I've heard that Jamaica is getting a different vaccine, different from the US. I think we are getting it from Colombia and India,
Um,
right?
so
I'm not
let
sure
me
if that information is
no,
correct.
let me correct it because I have a little document here that I saw on the internet. Um, uh, Jamaica looks to Cuba, India, and China for more COVID vaccines. So we were supposed to be getting vaccines from this facility called the COVAX facility, which is basically a global facility where like various different countries they come together and they're working on the vaccine. Uh, so it's not necessarily a country per se, but with that, we were supposed to get it. I think the slated time is in April. Yeah, in April. So what the Ministry of Health is trying to do is they are trying to get vaccines to us before April. You understand? So what they are doing now, they are looking to Cuba, China, and India for vaccines. There was an issue I remember earlier with uh, Cuba, and I had a few concerns about that because what I know from ever since is that Jamaica and Cuba has a very good relationship. So if you can remember, we had some nurses from Cuba who came to Jamaica to help with the care of those who were infected by the COVID-19 virus. So I was wondering why there was a problem with Jamaica getting vaccines from Cuba. Well,
America.
The
right,
trade embargo. It's the trade embargo that's causing all that problem.
right.
I
So
think they would have to get the approval from the
of
World Health Ministry, something like
the
that.
The World
Institute
Health Authority.
Organization.
authority. Thanks. I think they
well,
would have to get the approval first before they can go ahead administering.
and then the World Health Organization is based in which country really? You understand?
Didn't but America just signed off with them? America has no dealings with them anymore because of what Trump did.
Really? That's that's new. So now that Mr. Biden is supposed to be taking over soon, what is going to happen?
That's what the world waiting to see.
Damage control.
Well, he has to do that. I guess he has to
Have
do that.
to.
Yeah.
Have to.
You may never know
I
because
don't.
sorry, you may never know
You
because
can
in
go ahead.
these days you can't trust no one. You can't trust no one in these days. I've seen persons um going against Bush and all of that, even though I'm not a fan of it, but I'm saying for this aspect of it that we based on what is going on now in this world, we can never trust no because we can say okay then um Bush at this, Bush at that, but you never can know. Biden may be even worse. Well, I'm hoping for the best, but I mean, at the same
Hello.
America,
I don't
at the
think nobody
same
worse than
power, at
Trump.
the same everything.
Trump
But
not have
then
no
he
Pardon?
clue.
was
I don't think nobody worse than Trump. ever.
He-
Because when I,
by-
All right, so
Some must lock up with madness and that's what the key. Mad, mad, mad.
we're not go too deep in
I
that.
don't know why America take a long to see that. I don't know.
the race.
Let's get back to where we're talking about the
Right?
vaccine.
I can't even follow Trump here.
Tiana, you had a point though.
Yeah, I was saying that the other day, I don't remember if it was yesterday or the previous day, but I was online and I was reading where I don't know how true it was or how true it is, but they were saying that 23 persons that took a specific vaccine died. And while I'm saying that, we understand like what Nardia is saying, especially if you're on the front line, you would need to, hurry and get that vaccine. But at the end of the day, look at those 23 persons that took the vaccine and died. So like I said, I'm not sure 100% of how true it is. But at the end of the day, you have pros and you have cons. But the frontline workers, the healthcare workers, you are going to want to be able to get the vaccine to make sure, say, you're not exposed. But at the end of the day, me I go look on statistics. If me see so much persons dying from the vaccine, I would not want to take it. And then remember the nurse that we saw on CNN that took the vaccine and then she fainted. So again, we don't know the side effects of these things. And personally for me, I am a nurse as well. But at the end of the day, if it is a case where, it's life and death, so me need to take the vaccine, I would. But if it's just my choice, I would not take it. And that's for me personally.
well, remember, not everybody have a choice, Some persons like what this lady in white saying. Like, if you want, it's just like, I'm going back to the 666 thing what people are talking about. There are group of things like that. If you want to travel, you have to take the vaccine. If depending on a certain country, if you're a frontline worker, you have to take the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have to, no choice.
But
It's
another
mandatory.
another point though that because Tiana was mentioning about statistics. Well, if you're going to mention statistics, and we're saying 23 out of how many actually? You understand?
Over 2 million in the UK so far
Right.
that has been
And
vaccinated.
yeah, and all over the world, other places that we don't know about, people have been getting the vaccines, and so the deaths or the side effects that result into death are really few.
Minuscule. It's minuscule compared to how much has died because I think the UK has touched, I've stopped listening to the news, so I'm raw guessing. I think the UK has touched about 66,000 deaths from the coronavirus alone.
Yeah.
Several of who are frontline workers.
Mm-hmm.
So 23 deaths it's like nothing compared to how much have died from the virus itself.
Yeah, I mean, if you should really weigh it in the balance, it would more tip on the side of getting the virus, getting the
The
vaccine.
vaccine.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, I understand what you're saying.
It's
I
a
understand what you're saying, but it's and for me,
very sticky.
I have been saying that from my born, I've been getting vaccines, because I mean, you have so many vaccines in Jamaica that you have to take um while growing up. From you're a baby, you have vaccine that you have to take, the newborn vaccine, and all of these things come right up until you're probably about 18. And if you miss out any of them and you're in, because I remember
Well, so up until 12.
at Bellevue that they had to be giving out vaccines to people who did not get I think it was the MMR, mumps, measles, rubella, that vaccine, right? So, I mean, it's not such a big deal. I don't see it as such a big deal per se. And as I said, if we are going to look at the statistics, more people are actually surviving who have gotten the vaccine than those who have died. You
But I
know?
think, Mr. Harris, is
Yeah.
that it's a big deal for me. You know
Okay.
why?
Okay.
Back in the years, as what the lady was saying before, that they had time to test the vaccine completely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, because we are the guinea pig, me know I'm a statistic.
Yeah, but
Me know
then
I'm a statistic.
yeah,
You understand?
But Sasha, for me, in terms of if we are going to compare the times, remember that they didn't have all the resources back then. You
And I agree
understand?
completely. I think why it takes so long to a point is that they test each individual because, as you were saying before, now, as you, this point that you guys make is that some persons have underlying conditions and such, so you have to test a lot of persons. This time we don't have that much time to test everybody.
The
We really
persons
don't have
are
the time.
unhealthy.
You know what I mean?
Satchel,
The persons are
Satchel,
unhealthy.
The rigorous testing that we were doing back then, even though they didn't have the technology as we have now, but the rigorous testing in regards to human beings and how it affect each individual body and body mass and all those intricate details, we never
Mm.
have it. Because we are rush to put it out. So in that rush,
Right.
we have be not for we have a statistic, not for we have a statistics.
Much
Guinea
more
pigs.
Satchel,
enough.
how many people, I mean, do you know how many people died in Brazil? It's over 1 million people died in Brazil
Yeah, but
from the coronavirus.
that not affect me because I know I still don't have a statistic.
I never said you are, but I'm only saying that, yeah, I can't encourage anyone to take the vaccine. I can't tell anyone to take the vaccine. What I know, all right, from tomorrow, the UK, anybody coming into the UK have to be tested negative. And even when they test negative, you still have to quarantine for 10 days. So no matter the
Yeah.
country you're coming from, you still have to do that. Before they had travel corridors, so that stopped. All right then. Every airline, every cruise ship, every airline is going to want a COVID passport. Before you needed a vaccination passport to go like Africa. You understand me? Now they're going to need it for the coronavirus. So now you're going to have to prove that you've taken this vaccine so you can travel. So the only way you can debate say not having this vaccine unless you're going to tear up your passport and throw away the visa. So just leave embassy, leave PICA or whatever it is alone. And
No,
then you can say you're not having the vaccine.
I have a couple of years leave to travel, so I can't wait. I watch the first world countries go through the testing
I stop
period.
throwing Pamina. Stop throwing Pamina.
I'm saying the other day I was coming home and I was in a taxi and the
Right.
taxi driver happened to be a farm worker with other persons in the vehicle that normally travels. And the taxi driver said, oh, like now they're saying you have to get vaccinated to travel. He's saying that he would rather stay here and have the money because he's not going to get vaccinated and he's not going anywhere. And a whole heap of people share that same sentiment. So you want to forget and you want to make the money, but at the same time,
That's
you
like
don't know
the
what's going to happen to you. Like I was saying before, what if you have underlying issues, but you have
I don't think
underlying
it's
issues,
just
but you
America
don't know
or
of
getting a
these issues. You
visa
don't know
or
that they exist.
It's
And
right
you go
around
and
the
you get
world. You're not going to be able to
vaccinated. What's going
travel.
to happen to you?
I don't
So like
I don't
the
think
other
it's
gentleman is
just
saying, I don't want to be a statistic.
All right,
Well, is
Rosie.
it true? Me, if I come home in a couple of months' time, I have to be a statistic.
Yeah, I understand you. And then my wife have to come on March, so she took it today
I'm
because
coming the
we have
same
no
time as
option.
well. I am coming the same time as well. So I
Yeah.
have to
but
take
I'm
it.
saying, but I'm saying it won't just be for those who are traveling. Sooner or later, if you wish to go to the supermarket or anywhere, you're gonna have to
Okay.
show the fact that you're being vaccinated. I'm saying
Yeah.
sooner than later, it's gonna be mandatory. It's not gonna be just that we're based on the fact that we are traveling, or sooner or later, in order to shop at the supermarket, you have to show some form of thing to say that you've been vaccinated. You understand what I'm saying?
All right.
So I mean, it's a thing for us to think about, not just to put it aside and say, oh, it not gonna reach me, or there are ways that me can go against it, or yes, but it's not gonna be as easy as we thought or think, rather. You understand? So I'm saying it is sad that it comes to this. And right now, the only thing I can say, boy, God help us.
Well,
God help us, because I think there's much more to come.
I think
This
each
is just a tip of
individual,
the iceberg.
All right, Satchel.
I think each individual, it goes back, it boils down to each individual and their decision that they're going to make, regards to them and their family. I have time. When I plan for travel, plus the vaccine now reach it to a couple of months. So me can use that time to watch
Thing.
and then make my decision, right? I don't plan to travel anytime soon, right? So me might have time where first, what's her friend, what's the other lady name?
Nadia.
Nadia.
She not have time, you know. Yeah, something because I want two or three dosage you have to take.
When I like him, you know. That's the way a friend that takes him home.
So I can speak how I'm speaking because I have time,
Yeah.
right? And next person now have to really collect the information and then make a decision based on um, um,
ASAP.
their life and what they plan to do in the future, right? So based on what based on my near future and what I am planning, I can hold out a little bit and watch and pray. I watch the guinea pig them. Sorry, Miss Nadia.
Which party more? Which party more?
Same place I've ever seen.
No worries, sir. My super give me one slap.
Good. All right, Tiana, what are your final
Oh my
words?
God.
What you said, Denzel?
Oh yeah, your final words. Just wrapping up now.
Well, like I said, you see, at the end of the day, I hope it boils down to personal choice. If it's a case where I say that if we have time, that is, and we say that the vaccines are really working, other countries, if we say that yes, it's working and people are better off with the vaccine, then fine. But for right now, my stance on the matter is that if it's a choice, I'm not going to take it at this point in time. I want to see, like where Demetri said, the rest of guinea pigs them, I will stay right where
Yeah,
I
go
am for
to a
now.
puno. No, no, that Jamaica. We.
Fine. Then
All right.
all things Jamaica is blessed.
I'm going to choke
In
no.
everything Jamaica is blessed.
Yeah, you're right, Rosie.
That's my point, and my point is finished.
All right, so Nadia.
I will not take it now if until I really have to take it.
The thing we have to look at is that, like most of us healthcare workers, when we apply for the job, we have to show that we are vaccinated against certain illnesses, isn't it? Like when you have to show that you have your BCG, MMR, rubella, tetanus, polio, all those vaccines.
Yeah.
All right. In the UK, we get a yearly flu vaccine. I take that every year because if I don't take the flu vaccine, I can't move. So for the whole winter, I am sick as a dog. So I have to take the flu vaccine. The coronavirus vaccine is going to be just like the flu vaccine. We have to take it yearly. So it's not something that's going to serve you for the whole lifetime to say you're not going to catch this thing. It's something that's going to be, you're going to have to take it yearly. Because if you look back at what they were saying, is that come winter, this thing is going to come around every year, just like the flu. So that's another thing that you guys are going to have to think about.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So it's not just about taking the vaccine now. It's about line
It's
up
just a tip
ourselves to have this vaccine
iceberg, my dear.
every single year. So it's gonna have to be like just
It's
like how
just
you
a
have in
tip
your
of the
flu.
iceberg. This is what-
All right.
But
Paula, what
by
But
then
I
we'll
say
know
to
if
you,
TT I watch?
but I
Tiana.
say to you, I
Paula.
have to take it. So I'll tell you my experience.
all right. But if it's a case that it's every year, by then we will know what is happening and we can make up our minds by then if it's a case that is something that we're going to need to take every year. But until now, I'll just wait until you take yours and then you tell me how.
What am I doing so bad, man?
Let's go ahead, give it.
Am I doing so bad?
Well, it is. We have come to the end of our discussion for now. I want to thank everyone for joining in. Thank also our viewers and subscribers.
Dad,
And say, just stay safe and looking forward to see you next time. All right, when we have
Oh,
another
yeah.
upload.
A point. I'm a recovering COVID patient. Bleeding
Yes,
white.
yes. I remember that.
Yes.
and
So,
let me say, please like, subscribe, and share, and please leave a comment.
you're deaf.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.